Hello, I'd like to tell you about another interesting conifer in my yard. This is Pinus mugo, Dolly's choice. And right now it's loaded with male pollen cones. And in parts of the tree you can start to see the female cones coming out. Mugo pines are commonly called Swiss mountain pines or dwarf mountain pines. And my name for them is the McDonald's pine, because at the drive-through at most McDonald's you'll see these as low shrubs around the drive-through window, so that's what I call them. But anyway, this is a really unique cultivar or variety. It's called Dolly's Choice, and I'm only aware of one other one. I've never seen it in person, but apparently back in the 1980s, conifers and collector conifers were really drawing high dollars from people who wanted unique plants in their landscape. So today, landscape companies are planting just generic arborvitaes and many of the same exact plants that you see in everyone's landscape. But back in the 80s, collector conifers were really sought out. So nurseries were buying these and people were paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars for them. So this particular plant was one of those. I have a friend who had an independent garden center, and he had worked there as a kid when his parents were managing the garden center, and he said that he remembered this particular plant in the back lot planted when he was there back in the 80s and 90s. And I had had my eye on this plant for a long time. It was back in kind of the derelict plant section. Nobody really shopped in that area, but it had a price tag on it of like $450, and I could tell that it was really old and that it was unique. And I'd never seen a mugo pine that was shaped like a tree. They're usually shaped like a mounding shrub. Maybe a large size would be 10 feet wide and 6 feet tall, and at McDonald's they're usually 2 by 3 or something like that. This one was really different. So I told him at a meeting one day, I was speaking at a Rotary Club meeting, and he was at my table, and I told him about this plant. He said, "Oh yeah, I remember that plant. I remember it from when I worked here as a kid. Come get it." So that got me to thinking I needed to go get this plant. So it was planted in ball and burlap, but it was down in the ground. So I went over there and told him I wanted it, and dug it out and put it in my truck and went in to pay for it. And the price tag somehow miraculously had survived from years and years ago. It was in the 400s. And he said, "Just take it." I said, "I can't just take this plant. It's a crazy plant." And he goes, "Just take it. You know, you're a friend and you're a good customer. Go give it a good home." I said, "No, I have to do something for you." And he said, "Well, how about make a donation to the Rotary?" So I wrote a check for $100 and got Dolly's Choice, a really awesome, unique, rare Swiss mountain pine. So maybe somebody will take some cuttings from it and propagate it again. I hope so. Then maybe we can see it in your yard.